Chino stuff.
Hmm.
All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the stand-up comedy show this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us on this sunny Sunday afternoon. I'm Siobhan, if you haven't yet met me, and this summer I am the orientation coordinator for major events. I just graduated from Tufts, and I'm very excited to share with you the Comedy Collective today.
And I'm Hannah, the orientation coordinator for communications and social media, class in 2023. We're super excited to introduce the Tufts Stand-Up Comedy Collective to you. Here's Alex to tell you more.
Hi, I'm Alex. We're the Tough Stand-Up Comedy Collective. We're a non-audition group. I recommend that you follow us on Instagram if you want to get more information when our meetings start at Tough Stand Up. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Alex. This is the Stand Up O Show. We got clips of various performers who are members of the Stand Up Comedy Collective here at Tufts University. I say here at Tufts University as if I am there, but I'm not. The shows this year are going to be a little bit different from this, the actual shows, because they're going to be done live over Zoom. But, you'll see it when it happens. Let's start up the show. I think that it's a pretty nice college that I go to. They do nice stuff for us. They have, during finals week, they bring these dogs into the library that you can pet to reduce your stress. Or if you're allergic to dogs, make you way more stressful. Man, I walk into the library during finals week with a backpack full of Claritin. I hear a group of people say, "Oh, I book it." It's like finals, but I also might die. I work in the dining hall of my college. It's a pretty good gig. It's a nice job. Main complaint for me, I have to say, is that I can't call in sick and eat on the same day. It's a problem. Because if I go in, they'll see me, they know I'm not sick, and I can't cook anything because I'm like an idiot and stuff. The only thing I have in my apartment is bread. For lunch, they had bread. This is white bread straight out the loaf. I'm stupid. I had 3 slices at once. I called it a bread sandwich. I'm failing the lights, but that's beside the point. You know what food I like? Chicken McNuggets. You guys are fans of chicken McNuggets? We got some cultured people in their house tonight. Some people don't like the chicken McNuggets. My friend said to me, those things are fake. There's no chicken in there at all. I said, I don't really care. I didn't say I wanted it to be chicken. I found a piece of chicken in my chicken nugget once I spit it out. What's that doing? You guys know the shapes of chicken McNuggets? There's only a few shapes. You guys know how many shapes of chicken nuggets there are? No guesses? 4. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you guys are smart people. You guys must go to a good college. 4 shapes. You guys know the names of the shapes? Round. That's pretty close. It's you must be the only geometry major here, I guess. Bell, ball, and bone. And I like the boot. The boot is my favorite. It's the one it's shaped like this. You know that one? When I was a kid, I always thought it looked like America. There's really nothing more patriotic than that, is there? I look at a chicken McNugget and I say, this reminds me of the country I love so much. I'm not going to. Man. Life just keeps going, doesn't it? We're on the same page here. I think life needs a pause button. And you sleep, but the time keeps going underneath the sleep. That's annoying. And one day ends, the next day starts right away. No break in between. If you say your plans for tomorrow at 12:05, somebody's gonna be like, well, actually, I think you mean today. Shut up. I know it's not today, but I wish it was. Let me dream. 1 year right into the next. No stop at all in between. I think we could use a month, just 1 month. Nobody does anything. Maybe we die. I don't know. I didn't think it'd do that much. But just 1 month, and I know right where it would go. It'd be, let me think it go. September, October, November, no nothing. And that's a month. Nobody does nothing. All right. I forgot the next thing I had to say, because the next thing that I had to say is the name of your next performer, and he's a very funny man, and I saw the name and I was like, ooh, that's a good one. That set is from February, and the joke about a month where nobody does anything has really aged poorly in the most unexpected of ways. But let's ignore that. Next up, we got Erica Chen, who's super funny. She's a junior, and she does public relations for Stand Up Comedy Collective. She runs the Instagram, and you should follow us now on Instagram at Tough Stand Up. Do it right now, or you'll regret it for the rest of your life. All right, Erica Chen.
So the other day, someone asked me what my pet peeve was, and I was like, oh, I really don't know. And then, so I was like pondering this the other day. Like my boyfriend was in the room, so I asked him, like, hey, Ruben, what's your pet peeve? He says, oh, I'm just too ripped. And you know what? I don't even know why I even bothered. I was like, this is the same dude that calls the gym the Church of Iron. The House of Swole. But a couple weeks ago, I went to the Walk the Moon concert in Providence. And we stayed overnight at my friend Sophie's house, and like all my friends and I just like slept in the basement. And then the next morning, I like heard this like plastic crinkling noise. And I'm like, okay, it's alright. Then I heard a crunch, and I was like, what the fuck? So then I looked up, and I saw my friend Anders. He was Danish, by the way. I don't know why that matters. So he was lying on the couch. Jack, paint me like one of your French girl style. And he was just eating from a Costco-sized bag of baby carrots. And I was like, dude, he's still hungover? And then he just like dropped his carrot and looked at me and was like, yo, fuck Sweden. Excuse me? And then he just walked away. But yeah, my friend Sophie, she told me about her school, how their mascot was the Skippers, which are sea captains. And she told me that at all their football games and basketball games, all the students, they call themselves the Screaming Seamen. That got me wondering, did they put on an annual production of Bust a Nutcracker? Were all of their dances homecoming dances? But then I really started thinking, what if seamen actually did scream? Like imagine you're getting it on. You're about to come. And honestly, you have a condom on because safe sex, kids. But you're about to come. You're like, oh. And then you have to get it off without opening up the condom because the screams will get louder. Then you get curious, so you open it up. And then like the winning sperm screams, fuck you! So yeah, that's all I have.
Because the show is virtual, I can host from any place I want, unless that place is a gathering of 10 or more people, in which case I can't be there at all. All right, up next we got another junior, also very funny. We got AJ Pandina. Give it up for him. Clap by yourself in your dorm.
So I've got a problem. I feel like a lot of people make judgments when they see me for the first time, and what bugs me is that they're usually right. So like, look at this guy with his glasses and his smile. He probably hates confrontation. I'm get into it. So a lot of people also like to think that I'm single, which I actually don't have a problem with because I like to refer to myself as single by choice. But just because I'm single doesn't mean I haven't seen a lot of naked people recently. I took an SMFA class first semester where we had new models come in every week. And I mean, they were all over 60 years old, but you gotta take what you can get, I guess. So yeah, I dated someone in high school for 3 years. So I've been out of the dating pool for quite some time, and a lot has changed since then. The biggest problem for me is I have to relearn how to make a move. Because the first time that happened to me, we were sitting on the couch together, and we were watching a movie, High School Musical 2. And I pretended to yawn, stretch, and put my arm around her. And then she was my girlfriend for 3 years. So illuminated by my past success, I was like, I have to try that again. So a few weeks ago, I was sitting with this girl, we were watching a movie, Green Book. And I turned to her and I said, if you were a pirate, which is how all good pickup lines start. If you were a pirate, would you like your parrot on this shoulder or this shoulder? She still hasn't called me back. So I was in the res having a conversation with this guy the other day, and I recognized him. I really did recognize him, but I couldn't tell from where. I said, AJ, he's over 60 years old. Where would you know him from? Some of you guys are ahead of me. So I didn't realize this until he stood up and shook my hand, and he had a dolphin tattoo on the inside of his bicep. And right then and there, I realized that I was holding the unusually moist hand of a man whose scrotum I painted with exquisite detail. While he was standing like this. So I learned a lot in that SMFA class, scrotums, other things, you know, all the usual stuff. And so I learned a lot, but there's this one day that I was really having some trouble getting the color scheme down on one of my paintings, and we were hanging them up so that the professor could grade them at the end of the class and give us some criticisms. He walks over to mine with his unusually limp wrist. It's lagging. And I was telling this story to my friend the other day, and she's like, AJ, why didn't you stand up for your artwork, defend yourself? And she's like, oh wait, glasses smile, you hate confrontation.
Came out to this pond. Sometimes there's ducks here. I thought I was going to get to show you guys some ducks, but ain't no duckies today. So we're going to keep the show going. Whoa, that thing is moving. There's something moving. Can you guys see that? It's like in the middle of the screen. I'm going to look into that. Next up, we got a sophomore who's also in TFL. Check them out. Give it up for Alex Sue.
So I'm Asian. Ni hao. And I'd say my parents are pretty progressive for Asian parents. Like, they can get down with the gays, but some of their values are still very, very traditional. For example, in my high school, all the girls had to wear these gray skirts, and they would all hem them as to not look like a literal pilgrim. And my mom would drive me to school every day, our freshman and sophomore year, and she'd pull up to the parking lot, and she'd look around, and she'd be like, Yeah, so slutty. Their parents must be so sad. How dare these girls show their dirty, horny cats? Excuse me? So come junior year, and I'm driving myself, and I decide to start hemming my skirts in secret. So I wake up every morning, and I fold the bottom of my skirt, and with a stapler, I just go all the way around. And when I went to school and I sat down, I just get stabbed in the ass. The things we do for social capital. But at the end of the year, I got voted sexy as me, so worth it. Yeah, but I love my mom, I really do. And she actually helped me get over my most recent breakup. So I dated this guy from home. His name was Tony. Which honestly should have been a red flag, like right there and then, you know what I mean? Like Tony, like. So yeah, I was dumped. And I'm not saying it was a bad breakup, but at one point he did say, you know how I love math, but it's not right for my major? That's what this is like. So I was pretty sad about it, is what naturally is after getting compared to calculus. But the thing is that you never realize how shitty a relationship is until you're finally out of it. For example, he hated tattoos, and when I said that I wanted to get one, he seriously considered breaking up with me. So I guess my tramp stamp of shirtless Obama is gonna have to wait. That's okay. He also would get super mad if I forgot to call him or didn't text him back within the hour. Like, don't wait for me to call you. Like, aren't you too busy doing normal 18-year-old guy things like watching porn or cyberbullying Elizabeth Warren? Here's the big one. Probably the worst thing he said to me was that I didn't dress femininely enough and didn't look presentable when we went out on dates. Like, is my stapled ass not good enough for you? And who are you presenting me to exactly? The board of high school relationships that you think are going to go somewhere but don't? So, I was thinking about all the things he'd get mad at me for. No tattoos, pick up the phone, wear proper clothing. And that's when I realized I had accidentally dated my mom. And who the fuck wants to date their mom? And that's how my mom very indirectly helped me get over my breakup. Thank you so much.
Okay, I got great news. We got something way better than ducks. It's a bunch of tiny little turtles. Maybe you guys will be able to see them. They're small, they're mostly underwater, but they're adorable little turtles. Okay, who's up next? I didn't even check. I was excited about the turtles. Who's next? Ooh, next up, we got another sophomore. He is in stand-up comedy collective. He's a funny guy. Give it up for Donovan Menard.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Donovan Menard. Whoa. Out of the way. Folks, I've realized something. I've realized that you can really learn a lot about someone by reading their biography. You know, some things can really just turn your mood around instantly, in a snap of a finger. I can't snap my fucking left hand, sorry. Like, you'll just wake up on a really nice day, 61 degrees, perfect, you know? Put on your favorite shirt, just feel like $1,000,000. You're taking a stroll, put in your AirPods, put on some second wave ska. You know, what else are you going to listen to? Third wave ska going on mine? Taking a stroll, you know? Go to a water fountain, and then it squirts up higher than you expected, and it gets in your nostril, and you're just like, bury me, bury me. You know what? In those moments, what you have to remember is it always gets better. You know, stay optimistic, power through it. Now, ladies, I know what you're all thinking. I know what you're thinking, ladies. You're thinking, what is the deal with NPR's transition music? Why is it so goddamn funky, you know? I mean, seriously. Very, like, gentle tone generally with NPR. You kind of, like, yeah, so here's our segment on new economic sanctions. Stay tuned and we'll be talking about the effects of droughts in California on the avocado market. Next segment, yeah, but you know, how can you not love NPR? Only thing I don't like is that they don't run the transition music long enough for me to Shazam it. It's really folks, I gotta be honest with you. I gotta come clean. I gotta just be completely honest. All right? Making a confession. I'm a big fan of the Marquis de Lafayette. You got any Lafayette fans here? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I've been a fan of Lafayette since 2011. You'll note that's pre-Hamilton, all right? I'm a real fan. But you know, what amazes me is that, hey, you know how old he was when he sailed to the United States to help the colonists win their independence? He was 19 years old. And I just think that's crazy because these days, the only thing 19-year-olds are doing is eating avocado toast, catching Pokemans, and ruining the diamond industry. Jesus Christ! You know, I think it's kind of strange that a lot of times when you knock on a bathroom stall door and someone is in there, they say, someone's in here, instead of I'm in here. Like, it'd be weird if we referred to ourselves that way in other situations, like you want to pick up your friend in your car, you pull into their driveway, send them a text, someone's outside. Thank you, everyone.
Great set. Thank you guys for sticking through it this far. We got a couple more performers to go. I ran out of interesting places. This is a car. Next up, we got a junior, and he goes by the name of Ezra Zanton. Enjoy.
Glad we got the mic working. Anyone here go to Tufts? Anyone here named Doug? Yeah! Okay. What we do as a stand-up comedy collective, we say our, things we're working on, then we get feedback. One time I got this feedback from Doug. He was like, I think you should find the parts that are funny. You should expand on those. I think that you should find the parts that are not funny and you should cut them. So I'm trying to live by his advice. Here we go. I've been spending a lot of time on YouTube because finals are coming up. One of my favorite ways to binge on YouTube is the Dodo. They have basically two types of videos I discovered. One of them is like, this anglerfish was raised by goats. The other type is a disabled dog with a nurse back to health. I was watching one of those, except the disability was there was an armadillo. Like, oh yeah, I found Arnie on I found Arnie on the side of the road, and for a while there was really touch and go. When I went into the room, I couldn't breathe until he was breathing. I was like, oh wow, that's really touching. And then they came with the upbeat music, like, soon Arnie was back to his antics. Then it's a montage, like, Arnie, get out of the trash. Arnie, stop tearing up the couch. Arnie, I can't see. Armadillos carry leprosy, you know that? That's so much work to get a disease vector into your home. If I had an armadillo that was tearing out my furniture and getting into my trash, I would poke it so it would roll up into a ball, and I would punt it back to Australia. And I know that armadillos aren't from Australia, they're in Texas. But I'm trying to create a super species of armadillos that can survive being kicked into orbit. I think that I'm gonna make a really good dad, because I got a burrito the other day and I so cradled it back to my dorm. But then I ate it, so. Only grown-ups.
Funny stuff. I'm at the high school that I graduated from. Bad times. Next up, we got the last performer for the show tonight, and he is a funny man. He's a sophomore. His name is Justin Rubenstein.
What's going on, guys? A lot of people think I'm stoned. I'm not. I just got bad allergies, including some food allergies I feel you should know about, okay? I'm allergic to eggs and nuts. I'm allergic to eggs, but I'm not allergic to chicken, which is kind of weird. Someone just points to an egg, like, can you eat this? Not yet. Give it a few months, see how it goes. Guys, I love food. I do think alphabet soup is dumb, though, right? Like, why is it a thing? What was the meeting that came up with it? Some guys just like, how are we gonna make soup better? Other guys like, I think they should be more educational. I guess alphabet soup is good for America from like an international competition standpoint, though, because who's gonna beat us in that category? China's basically out of the race. Cans would just be way too big. Characters, those Chinese. Let's move to the alphabet, phonetics. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry if you're a supporter of alphabet soup. I hope you weren't offended by that. So politically correct these days, it's nice to have someone to feel gas about, you know? But I feel like I've kind of missed out on the racial end of being offended because I'm half Jewish and I'm half Asian, right? Asian Jews? That's okay. I'm a little suspicious of that person. But anyway, yeah, like I never feel Asian enough or Jewish enough to get offended when someone says something insensitive about those groups. Like for instance, someone says something offensive to Asians. I don't get offended. So what I do is I just scan the room for more Asians. Like, yo, Ching Chong, you gonna take this shit? I don't think I'm Asian enough to tell that joke. So anyway, guys, I got diagnosed with OCD like a month ago, and that's too nice because it's something to get offended about, right? When people do that thing where like mildly organized, and they're like, I'm so OCD. Before I got diagnosed, I was like, that's a mischaracterization, but I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to be a dick. Now, when people do it, I'm just like, how dare you trivialize the plight of my people? You know, I get very fancy when I'm offended. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot of OCD when I'm driving. It makes me scared of like really irrational, improbable things, you know? So I'm driving, and I'll hit a bump, and I'll be like, that's a pothole. Or a small child, fuck. I check the news to see, hit run on the Garden State Parkway. I don't think I did it, but let me check. Part of the uncertainty, guys, is that I don't know what it feels like to run someone over. I feel like I should do it on purpose once so I have a better experience. Oh, that's what it feels like. Yeah, yesterday was a pothole. I was way bigger than a pothole. But yeah, guys, yeah. Anyway, I think bestiality should be legal. Right? That's okay, right? Bestiality is illegal for the animal's sake. To protect the animal because there's no consent. So basically, what we did as a society is someone was like, how about we put animals in a cage, pump them with hormones, and systematically murder them so we take their flesh. We were like, yeah, that sounds good. Someone was like, can we be sexual with them? We were like, we don't want to make them uncomfortable. But yeah, and also not to be insensitive, but I feel like animals would want to have sex with humans. I feel like that's moving up in the world. Like, you guys are really on board with this. You're a little too on board with this. Yeah, it's like, I'm in high school. If I fucked a popular girl, I'd be psyched. That's leveling up a social tier. Okay? A chicken, for instance, would be leveling up several species. Back in the bragging rights, man. Chickens do this, and it's like, yeah, man, I love you. Also, a lot of compliments to be made. That'd be fun. But anyway, guys, I'm kind of a weird kid. Maybe you figured it out. To be honest, I'm like pretty crappy. Like, I live in the suburbs. I go to private school and shit. But I listen to super angsty music. I feel kind of bad about it because these artists have like super rough upbringings. You know, a lot of them. They go through like drug abuse and violence. That's what they're releasing anger about. And you would hope the adolescents receiving that are releasing anger about equally as heavy things. They're just like, fuck, my parents left me, and I'm dealing with poverty, you know. Instead it's me, I'm just like, damn it, Cornell waitlisted me. Alright, thanks guys.
All right, that concludes the show. Thank you for sticking to the end. I had a great time. I hope that you did too. I recommend joining Stand Up Comedy Collective and all the other comedy groups at Tufts. Stand Up Comedy Collective, we meet at Tuesdays at 9 p.m. and on Fridays at 5:30 p.m. There's no auditions. You just show up. You have a great time. This also concludes the informal tour of my hometown that I've been given for some reason. We're at the train station. Why? Because it's a metaphor for how we're all waiting for a train, and that train is Stand Up Comedy Collective. Join Stand Up Comedy Collective. All right, bye. Thank you guys so much.